I'm here in the rehearsal rooms of Oranmore with Sandy Grierson. Sandy is best known as an actor, and indeed he is going to be performing next week in Selma Dmitrievich's play A Prayer. But he's also now a writer, and we are doing his first play, although he's done other writing for the theatre, his first solo play. David Ireland will box...
Lecture, dance and
Lecture,
box.
dance and box. Sandy, it's lovely to have you here.
It's lovely to be here.
You're taking that big workload on.
Yeah. Not entirely. Well, it is my choice, but it was Lauren and Selma of Grayscale put this sort of almost like a mini rep of one-man shows together with myself and David. And yeah, it's mental, but it's but in a way, if you've got so there's these two, the two shows, A Prayer and tonight David Ireland will Lecture, Dance and Box. We've got another two that we're working on at the same time.
Which you're going to do once these are up and running.
Yeah, once these are up and running in Bath, and then. But it means that you can kind of, in a way, you have a break by dealing with something else.
Right.
You take a break by working on the other show, and then working on the other show as a break from that show. So it's working great, and being able to be here and working constantly, and just living here, so you don't have to travel or anything. It's really, it's hard, but it's fun.
Tell me, let's talk about your own play first. Okay. Tonight, David Ireland will do all these things.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the play.
Well, it's a play about David Ireland's real or not so real great grandfather, a man called Arthur Craven, who in his life itself was both real and yet very unbelievable.
Right.
And I think the whole piece is about. I think I'm working it out as I go along, but kind of about as an actor, you always get asked about the truth and what the truth of a character is, or to be true in a situation. And it always struck me that there's a very specific way of thinking about what truth is, and the idea of going on a journey and whether that journey is fulfilled or whatever it might be. And Arthur Craven's life goes quite heavily against the grain of that preconception about a life's narrative, I suppose, about being one person. And and learning things as you go through life, and then feeling wiser at the end of life than you were at the beginning. His life goes against that completely. And
also, there's a degree of a question of where fact meets fiction. I was, when I first read your play, I struck very forcibly. I'd been reading Muriel Sparks' autobiography, and she is assiduous about establishing that every single detail that she writes of her life is corroborated by several sources, and in some ways it's rather dull. Because actually we imagine ourselves as much as, we invent our past, and we interpret our past, or we embellish it, and that your play is very much
absolutely in that area. Absolutely. And I think because Arthur Craven was a man that was the author of his own life. I mean, his greatest success was the unbelievable nature of his life, and the things that you think are completely inconceivable are actually can be verified as fact, and the things that you think that well, okay, I could buy that, actually aren't true. So he sets it. It's about being an author of your own choices. I think and I guess just encouraging people to make the most of the moment without having to feel like truth is an encumbrance. Or what is it? I mean, if you say it's true.
It's funny. I mean, I know if I'm with my brother, I've got two brothers and a sister, and if I'm with them and we're reminiscing, and I say such and such and such, no, that's not how it happened. No one had that at all. And I'm actually convinced that they're lying. They're stealing my childhood.
Exactly. I mean, I think the whole show is an attempt to try and to tell a story to tell a life story, but in a more playful storytelling way. So,
and it's interesting. You and as a member of Grayscale, part of the team have decided to do this body of work. You've honed in on the monologue.
Yeah.
And that of all theatrical forms is the one that most admits the audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you've nobody else to talk to but the audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm interested.
Well, I think we always felt like with a one-man show, it's really important for it to be. It's hard to pick a good show for a one-man show. It needs to, the subject matter or the character or whatever needs to lend itself at its core to being a single person on stage.
Yeah.
I'm never that. I love watching virtuoso performances, but the idea of doing a massive the Government Inspector as a one-man show. It's well, why would you? Why would you want to get a whole cast worth of people to go and do that?
Yeah.
So we were wanting, well, partly because it's easier and cheaper, and to begin with, I think it's sort of you can play with all the interesting notions of how to create a show with one person is an easier place to start.
Yeah.
Because Grayscale's very interested in how designers and directors and actors and everyone work together.
Right.
And I think probably when you're looking at all that, it's easier to start with a one-man show rather than a two-hander or a three-hander.
Tell me now, just going backwards, roll the video back a wee bit to the coming show which you're about to perform. Selma's a prayer, a one-man, very different.
It is very different, but again, it's in terms of looking at the one-man show. What's really interested us is how is the role of the audience in that. So how the audience feel included in that one-man show when someone's there speaking to them, and how are they cast, and how do you make it a dialogue between you and the audience as opposed to just an actor performing in isolation and looking for applause at the end. And so both shows work with the audience in very different ways, but try and encourage their involvement in the casting of the piece. So as we're working on a prayer, that's I guess it's very different. It's very more meditational, I would think.
Right.
But not a tranquil at all. Not like a sort of humming guru, but a kind of
well, you're about to go and do it, and I'm going to come watch you.
I know. It'll be exciting to see what you make of it.
You have worked as a writer or a contributing writer to Vanishing Point.
Yeah.
And is that where you gained the appetite to write?
Maybe, yeah. I think I used to like. I remember as a kid writing a bit, but I never really felt I knew anything to write about. So maybe it's just these things that you suddenly come round to getting a bit older, and you think, actually, maybe I can. And devising theatre is a really supportive place to do that. Although when we were writing before, it just came out of you find a character, you run with it, and you have ideas thrown at you, and you rewrite as you see the character ought to speak those lines. So it's a sort of
working in Vanishing Point.
Yeah, with Vanishing Point. It's so yeah. I mean, I think that it was writing with Vanishing Point has given me the appetite to go for it. But although I don't know that I would have. Partly Lauren and Selma managed to encourage me to do this one.
Yes.
Because it's not something that I would have gotten to yet at all. I don't think it wasn't for Grayscale.
I'm bellowing down the phone. Where's the script?
Where's the script? And also, and Lauren's been working really closely with me as well.
Yeah.
So it's been more of a kind of it's been a sort of combined effort. And the whole process of working is about trying to combine devising and new writing and see if there's a way of
having the input of the actor, the director, the designer, and so on.
And so that the writer can have a creative, that feel that they can make mistakes in the rehearsal room as much as the actor does. Every day an actor tries X, Y, or Z, and then goes, well, that didn't work, so what about this? And to try and give the writer the freedom to do that as well.
Yes. Good. Well, I'm very grateful to you for taking on this enormous workload, and I know that they're both great scripts, and I hope everybody will come and see these very exciting shows. Thank you.
Thank you.